to take over Ethiopia as per their deal to accomplish MBZ's mission. Stop this war, not just for the Tigrayan sake, but for your own sake, because those criminals will not stop in Ethiopia. They're already subtly plotting the seeds of destruction on your turf as well. How we can tackle it before they get the upper hand and more, stand together. Following Ambassador Nikki Haley's 2 days trip to Ethiopia in October 22, 2017, that she went to assess Ethiopia's untapped resources in all economical prospect, because Donald Trump wants to know for himself, since his Middle East friends has whispered to him, yo, let's partner for mutual benefits to get rich and prosper for centuries to come and be powerful. That can be achievable by trying to be the big dogs and take over Ethiopia under colonialism for resource exploitation. With the feedback he got from Ambassador Nikki, he sent Jared Kushner immediately to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia by commercial flights secretly, without letting know the national security. Because what they were doing and still doing is committing to total illegal. They are the mafia machos joining together as partnership to do crime by jeopardizing many civilian lives. So Jared Kushner was there for Donald Trump to have agreed and to confirm, I'm all in to go in line with the MBZ vision to take over East Africa, Ethiopia being the first gateway. That's a done deal, sealed as classified, that Jared Kushner returned to Washington, D.C. with that agreement, October 27, 2017. Mind you, after the deal comes the action. On November 17, 2017, out of a blue, the man whose power shifted and promoted by giving a demotion to his nephew exactly a month after Donald Trump's visit to Riyadh in May 20, 2017. So this man became the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia in place of his nephew, who were both matured, age-wise and experience-wise, who were also a trusted person working with the US and Saudi, being US ally. The conspiracy is all about betrayal, chaos, destruction, deception, just to meet a few individuals' needs for ego, ambition, self-image, vision, greedy for money, hunger for power, and selfishness in general. Such a man, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, MBS, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Mohammed bin Salman, Donald Trump, Abiy Ahmed, Demek Mekonnen are among the few in this conspiracy group who joined together under their visionary MBZ, who has influenced to change the power both in Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia, as well as USA, both in Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia, as well as in USA. That's what is going on in the United States right now. People are not paying attention. If they don't take action quick, that might happen, because all the patterns, because we are experienced now how they did it in Ethiopia, I can see it clearly. The washy-washy going on is they are buying the time to conquer and defeat, to weaken the American people, unless the American people, they really make sure that they secure their ground, their military, their money in the media. The media is already free. They are using that. All this conspiracy or unreliable information and mass high officials are being sick of COVID. Just use common sense. They are taking over. They are making themselves ready. Just for your information, December 2nd is their Independence Day in Dubai. Maybe they will change it, that independence. But it's good to see beyond what is in front of us, because very large-scale organized criminal groups are doing crimes. Countries like Ethiopia, using the media as a tool, feeding deception, bias, confusion, information, distorted information, to gamble in people's mind, and for people to dwell on that, to keep them busy there, to make them park right there with that tit for tat, while they are taking over. They're securing the ground, and all of a sudden they will surprise you. Wake up. Those people are dangerous, and they are merciless. They have no value for life. That's how the Semitic culture is, that you need to understand. These people are people you cannot reason with. So, those conspiracy groups who join together under their visionary, like I say, Mohammed bin Zayed, the Abu Dhabi guy, who is the architect for everything, who came up with this, who has an influence to change power both in Saudi Arabia. I said he promoted to Donald Trump with his influence, he changed it. He promoted Abiy Ahmed, he changed it. So that both men, he needs them. He needs, instead of the nephew guy who is reliable, trustworthy, since they are doing a crime, he wants Mohammed bin Salman on his side. He wants Abiy Ahmed in his side. If the Tigrayans would have been offered, they wouldn't have given their country. So they knew whom to pick. Those who can go along with their plan. The Amhara people are the one who let Amhara people massacred, because they are working for those mafia groups, and they themselves are a mafia criminal. People staying in denial will work only for temporary. People themselves are going to be the victim, powerless. This on November 17, 2017, Mohammed bin Salman came up with an excuse to hold and detain Saudi royal family members and businessmen at Riyadh Ritz-Carlton Hotel. Among them was the business tycoon Saudi Ethiopian Sheikh Mohammed Alamuddin, who has been stayed detained until January 2019. I think he's still banned to go back to Ethiopia for travel. I don't think he can go back to Ethiopia. Let me encourage you to always ask the why questions. Why did Mohammed bin Salman held those men? If you rely for their information, the media would give you. Quite often they don't give you facts or first-hand information. If you depend on them and wait for them for the truth, or take their word as the truth, you'll be deceived, because there's so much bias in the media. So let's ask the question, why the Saudi de facto MBS held those men at Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Riyadh? Does it sound really a corruption case? If not, go dig to find the truth. What is this man's motive for detaining those men? Because it's related with the US, it's related with Ethiopia case. Check. So check the motives. What is the motive behind? Why? That's the only way you can detect and dissect to try to find out the truth. Keep in mind, Jared Kushner trip in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, October 27, 2017. 3 weeks later, the Saudi Ethiopia businessman has been held. Why? Because Operation Inaction to take over Ethiopia and enslave Ethiopians under colonialism started right there by detaining a very resourceful person who has a wealth of $8 billion and believed to be his supporter, TPLF, the Tigrayan People Liberation Front, the one who is in the war now. Therefore, this conspiracy group who knew what they were doing, once President Donald Trump sent Kushner as a messenger to confirm to be in the conspiracy that target to conquer Ethiopians and put us under colonialism on Kushner's October trip. Since the PLF is a powerful force in Ethiopia, they wanted to weaken the power they have by blocking the channel of resources Sheikh Mohammed perceived might help them money-wise. In addition to that, he's a pioneer investor in Ethiopia. During his detention, they already had took over his gold mining investment in Ethiopia. So they were after to control the power and the resources in Ethiopia by holding him and making him incapacitated. Those narcissists only think about themselves. Could it be that the late Jamal Khashoggi might have had the info, the colonialism conspiracy that they were thinking to plot in Ethiopia, that could have made him killed? Because he left to the US after Mohammed bin Salman came to as a crown prince. That was June 2017. And the conspiracy for Kushner and the first discussion was in August 2017, right before Mark Green, the USA director, being sent to Ethiopia. Then Ambassador Nikki came, and then after Kushner went. Then Sheikh Mohammed and the rest of the royal family has been held. I don't know if those people might be held for different reason, or they might also know the conspiracy, the information, the secret, since they are the royal family. They might heard. So this thing is confidential. They hold it as classified. And they committed a crime and taking the land in Ethiopia. The war in Ethiopia is this nature. So we don't know the Ritz-Carlton detention on December 1st. I don't know about the journalists. Could be, but there could be. There is a possibility, because this is a sensitive information. If it's leaked, it will block them, so they can kill. They don't care. Former Secretary of State on December 1, 2017, Rex Tillerson reported his complaints and concern that Jared Kushner, when they travel to Saudi Arabia, he hide or they do their meeting with MBS without involving the Secretary of State. So Rex Tillerson, as a man of responsibility, I would say integrity, addressed that issue on time, saying on his report, "I don't know what those guys are up to. They don't want me to hear the conversation. So I'm concerned about what they are doing might have an impact on those countries in the region in a negative way." That was December 1st. 5 days after his trip in Ethiopia, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson has been fired by Trump in March 13, 2018. He was in Ethiopia right before Abiy came. 2 weeks Abiy Ahmed came, before he came. Tillerson is fired because of the 2 MBZ MBS requests. Because he didn't go in line with their plan, he reported instead his concern. He said the truth and communicated his concern. If you go back and check out what media resources have said about him after he has been kicked out, you will see how those people pay for the media to cover the truth. They were character assassinations, pointing a finger. That's their style of strategy. They combat for the truth to be hidden. The American government, since illegally conspired with the 2 Middle East countries against Ethiopia, to betray Ethiopia. When Secretary Rex Tillerson complained his concern, he has been fired. That truth that was the Secretary of State, Tillerson, communicated, because it was not entertained, it was not handled, because Donald Trump is the boss, Ethiopian people are suffering. That truth is hidden, though the government, Donald Trump's administration team has been communicated, because for his communicated, they don't want that information to be leaked out, to be heard. They kicked him out. That was the beginning of the disaster that's coming to Ethiopia, which leads to this war, refugee displacement. Because crime and criminals of the US president and those 2 Middle East countries, and with the local Ethiopian government, is committed in Ethiopians. Nobody understands the situation. The only thing we understood our people is the killing is not Ethiopians. Though we are Semitic culturally, we are Christian religions, most of us, even the Muslims. In our country, they don't kill. We are killed by the mercenary Abiy Ahmed, our people is killed, and by Isaias Afwerki. The only reason the UN lift the sanction for Eritrean president. This is also crime. To unleash a country, a president who has been labeled as a terrorist and who has been sanctioned because of that, not to cause harm, have been given the right and the freedom. And Ethiopian people are dying because the world betrayed us, world leaders, institutions betrayed us and failed us. So, welcome to Mike Pompeo, the mafia member who is good for the position because he is a person who can bend, lie, with the second VIP to the 2 richest men, MBZ MBS, next to Ambassador Donald Yamamoto, the other VIP of those conspiracy group, who involved to change the power in our country, to rip us off and exploit, to make us vulnerable to be attacked, imprisoned, displaced, killed, and once again to be refugees. These other American leaders who betrayed us, by plotting with those 2 Middle East countrymen against us. They plan to take over our land, enslave us. The war in Tigray is not a civil war. The war in Tigray is all about colonialism that the US government is involving. We ask the global citizens in all international bodies to interfere in the war in Tigray, Ethiopia. The end of conspiracy, deception and betrayal is a disaster. And it's not going to be a one side. So please stop the war in the crime in Ethiopia. Otherwise, it's contagious, not only to affect our own people, neighboring country, but the United States itself, because it's coming. I can sense it, I can smell it, I can see it. The manipulation, the deception, the con artists, the drama, those scam art. The exact replica, what they use in Ethiopia, the method, the strategy, the patterns, it's already here. It's a matter of time. They're trying to change the power. Unless American people stand up and secure the ground, than waiting diplomatically as if things will change and waiting for 21st January. They will surprise you. They came along 3 years doing crime in Ethiopia, changing, killing, destroying, to implement theirs. The land in Addis Ababa belongs to Mohammed bin Salman, or the property. The first thing he changes the National Palace, because they have historical rivals. This week, they're saying they're going to demolish one of the financial institutions in Ethiopia because the name is after the Emperor Haile Selassie. Those people have a revenge. After the World War, when they don't have the machine for their oil, the British, the French, the US exploit them. They are now exploiting Ethiopia at the same time. They are going to revenge those people. We heard that during Emperor Haile Selassie went to UAE, and after they land the aircraft, they saw they are in the midst of the desert. And the man said, "Take me back home." And that was offensive. Those people, subtly, they are destroying. They have grievance and aggression. You see it only what is here in front. Those people are changing population, killing people. Let me encourage you to go and watch The Lion King and see the character, the Scar, how manipulative, how cunning, and also the envy, the revenge. That's what they are playing. They are using something that already have existed. It's too bad people are depending on media than using their own brain. In this 21st century, everybody's an author, and you are easily susceptible for deception. For American people, investigate about the information of the COVID. That's to trap you, that's to numb you, that's to cripple you. You are being threatened, you are being taken over little by little. You are giving the chance, you are giving them time to buy for themselves to do. Who knows the situation? In Ethiopia, the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed is protected by the Eritrean military. Nobody will touch him. They can't do that. If the changing of the power is to their own advantage. Donald Trump is just a figure. Donald Trump is just a symptom. He's a front leader of the US, like Abiy was. But the real leaders at the background who's making decisions on those two countries for the last 3 years, trust me, is those two men. Mainly Mohammed bin Salman. Who influenced, who asked to be fired for Rex Tillerson? It's those people. Because their concern is not entertained, we are paying the consequence. The American-Ethiopian relationship is betrayed. We are betrayed. So we need justice. At the same time, this thing is spreading. See the relationship, how with the Israel they make, how they said, okay, no aggression between the Arabs and the Israel. So that there won't be freedom to attack and to control other places. Learn from history. Go back to history. You need your historians who can see through the bird eye view, not through the worm eye view, vertical, that's limited. Those people are dangerous and they are marching with that. This is a reality we are in. It's not to scare people. People are sleepwalking. People are focusing on what is not important or irrelevant. So much is taken. They're changing cultures. They are stirring up problems. They go and create the bad image about the military. That's exactly what they did. They focus on the TPLF, Tigray. Those are the enemy. Focus on those. They are tearing it down. They are divisive. They are doing it this way. It's more effective than to combat in a war and win. Wake up. It's biblical. The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. The Western mind is the one who values for people's life, not the Eastern, not the Semitic. Donald Trump covering for them so that the Western mind who could have said no to this. It's inhumane. If the elect president, Biden, and recently want to change or healing the US, go in and see the situation in Ethiopia. It will give you an idea to prevent a danger that's hovering already here. You can ask people first-hand information, what they went through, all the patterns, how it unfolds. You can approach people who are, if you find trustworthy people, because there are so much people are also there, even globally, working or be a puppet for them. So you can also approach people who really understand the situation. So even American people are not ready. Our people have limitations of knowledge. That part has played a big, huge role, and also the hatred, the division they created is also people take it as a bait and trap them for. This is what they use. So get ready, wake up. And the danger, even the United States is susceptible. Because we are watching after the election saga, the deception, bias, gambling on people's mind to be conquered and defeated. The invisible monster is already hovering within the territory of the US, of which Americans are becoming, I would say, a sleeping walking. Wake up. Be focused. Be alert. Don't give for deception a footstool. Save our people in Tigray, save our people in Ethiopia, and get prepared and ready to save yourself. Not to be defeated, because this conspiracy is not only have an ill motives toward the Ethiopians, they have seen that it can be done there, now they are bringing it here. Don't wait until they say, oh, take over the power. You have to sniff, you have to find out what they are up to. Watch how the information is unfolding. Is it really true? All these people at once, all the high officials, the military in Hawaii? How do you know they are taking over that? What's going on? You have to ask. What's the motive behind? This is not normal. Take action before it's too late. Those people want to shame you and defeat you. They're after to destroy the church. They have done that in Ethiopia. They are destroying churches. They are changing. If they are doing it there, and if we are seeing the same symptom in the media, there is a high potential. So people need to be aware, to understand the motives behind. Why? What's going on? Use your mind, God-given intuition. You are focusing on Trump and the not so relevant election commentary. They want you to be busy out there. They are doing the massive change. That will be hard to take back. They are changing things. They are busy. They don't waste time. Those people, they don't waste time. Imagine, August 23, Kushner was traveling. They make the deal by the end of October. In November, they were controlling, detaining those people. You can see those time frames. Within 1 year, less than 1 year, from end of August 30